Welcome to the task analysis breakdown of a skill. Today we will be covering the 40 to 60 yard pitch shot. This skill analysis serves as a guide for skill acquisition as it relates to a right-handed pitch shot. The pitch shot is one of the most important shots in golf because by hitting pitch shots close to the pin, more birdies will result, lower scores will be recorded, and more wins will come. So now let's talk about phase 1, the setup. During the setup phase of a pitch shot, the athlete prepares to begin the swing that they will create in order to hit the shot. The shoulders should be square to the ball and the head should be looking down at the ball. Both arms are pointed down and both hands are gripping the club lightly. The grip should be like holding a baby bird, very light and very gentle. The feet should be firmly planted shoulder width apart and pointed straight forward. Knees should be slightly bent so the athlete feels that they may comfortably reach the ball with the golf club. The hips are facing forward and bent slightly toward the ball. The degree of hip bend will depend on the athlete's height and club length and should be at an angle where the athlete can comfortably reach the ball with their golf club. When looking directly at the athlete from the front, the athlete will have created an upside down V with their legs and a right side up V with their arms. Now let's talk about phase 2, the backswing. The backswing of a pitch shot is important because it starts the process of hitting the pitch shot, and if the backswing isn't completely effectively done, it is likely to cause the next two phases to break down. The correct body position allows shoulder rotation to the right and body weight shifts to the right heel. This brings the club back to the right and starts the backswing. The head stays looking down at the ball, and it is important that the head stays down until the final phase because it helps with steadying the body weight movement that occurs during the swing. The arms move to the right in synchronicity with the shoulders. The left arm extends straight and across the body, so the athlete's left hand is to the right and below the right shoulder. The left wrist extends back and is cocked up slightly, while the right wrist is bent at approximately a 90-degree angle, and the right elbow is also at a 90-degree angle. For the lower body, as the body weight shifts to the right heel, the knees continue to stay slightly bent, and feet continue to be firmly planted and shoulder width apart. The hips rotate to the right and continue to be bent slightly toward the ball. The next phase is phase 3, impact. This phase of a pitch is important because it affects how the ball comes off the face of the golf club upon impact and where the shot goes. For body position, the shoulders rotate to the left and the right shoulder will be slightly lower than the left shoulder at impact. The head continues to stay down looking at the ball. Body weight now shifts back to the center of the body. For arm position, arms move left and are both extended straight at impact. The arms are essentially returning to the same V position where they started in the first phase. Wrists move down from their designated angles to the ball. The wrists are straight at impact, however the right wrist may be slightly cocked depending on the athlete's preference. The left foot stays firmly planted on the ground and the right foot starts to lift up and rotate to the left. This causes the slightly bent knees to continue to stay bent, but the right knee starts to bend more as impact is made and as the athlete transitions into the final phase. The hips rotate left, the outside of the right hip points at the ball and is lower than the left hip, which starts to point toward the target. And now the fourth and final phase, the follow-through. The follow-through phase is important for a pitch shot because it capitalizes on all the intentional work done throughout the swing and helps the athlete move through the ball rather than decelerating into the ball, which results in poorly executed shots. The shoulders continue rotating left and move forward so they are facing the target. Because the body cannot rotate fully when following through on a pitch shot, the shoulders will be facing the target but favoring a slight lean to the right. The body weight shifts to the left heel and the head finally moves and looks up at the target. The right arm extends to the left and across the body, and the left wrist and elbow are bent at about a 90-degree angle, and the right wrist stays straight. The follow-through is nearly the mirror image of the backswing. The left foot continues to stay firmly on the ground, and the right foot continues to rotate left, comes off the heel, and ends on the toe. The left leg extends straight or slightly bent, while the right leg rotates left and bends at the knee. The hips lift up slightly and rotate toward the target. That is the completion of the task analysis breakdown of a skill for a 40 to 60 yard pitch shot. There are myriad alterations of a golf shot, so a certain type of shot will never look identical to the one before, even if it is the same athlete performing the skill. The degree of knee bend, club length, shot distance, and athlete's preferences can all play a role in variations of this shot, but the mechanics of the shot always stay consistent. Now let's talk about some coaching points for each phase of the shot. For the setup, it's important that the feet are pointed forward, shoulders are square, and stance is shoulder width apart. This is a good example because all three components are properly done. One consistent piece to look out for is that there's too much tilt in the shoulders. Be sure that the shoulders are as parallel to the ground as possible. For the backswing, be sure to get to that 90-degree tilt from the right wrist and right elbow. If it's proving to be difficult to get to this point, try thinking about the club head reaching for the sky. You can see here that the tilt isn't quite right, and we don't get all the way to the 90-degree tilt. But this is a much better example. For impact, keep in mind that you want to return to the same place where you started at the setup, but with more momentum coming down into the ball. Finally, for the follow-through, you want to get to that 90-degree tilt again, but with your left wrist and your left elbow. Imagine you're trying to get to the mirror image of your backswing on the follow-through, and the club is reaching up toward the sky again. You can see here that although this backswing and follow-through don't reach 90 degrees, which likely means the shot had a shorter distance or the athlete was using a different club, that the backswing and the follow-through look like mirror images of each other. Although I prefer to see the 90-degree tilt, this is good stuff too.